ऑफेंसेस अगेंस्ट द स्टेट 147 से 158 चैप्टर 7। ऑफेंसेस अगेंस्ट द स्टेट कौन सा है? चैप्टर 7। दूसरा में वेजिंग और अटेम्प्टिंग टू वेज वार और अबेटिंग वेजिंग ऑफ वार अगेंस्ट द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज पनिशेबल अंडर सेक्शन 148 of the BNS. तीसरा में A joins an insurrection against the government of India. A has committed the offense of waging of war against the government of India. चौथा में whoever wages war against the government of India or attempts to wage such war shall punish with death or imprisonment of life with fine. पांचवा में है under which of the following section of the BNS a conspiracy to wage war against the government of India is punishable. Section 148. Under which of the following section of the BNS collecting arms etc to wage war against government of India is made punishable? Section 149. सातवां में what punishment is provided for collecting arms to wage war against government of India? D. Both A and B. Imprisonment for life or imprisonment not exceeding 10 years and fine. आठवां में है which section provides punishment for concealing the design to wage war with intent to facilitate it? Section 150. Which section of the BNS provides punishment for assaulting president, governor with intent to compel or restrain exercise of lawful power? Section C. Section 151. दसवां में which section provides punishment for acts endangering sovereignty, unity and integrity of India? Section 152. 11 में है whoever purposely or knowingly by words either spoken or written or by sign or by visible representation or by electronic communication or by use of financial mean or otherwise excites or attempts to excite succession or armed rebellion or subversive activities or encourages feelings of separatist activities or endangers sovereignty, unity or integrity of India or indulges in or commits any such act shall be punished with imprisonment for life or imprisonment which may extend to 7 years and fine. 12 में which section of the following is not punishable act? Endangering sovereignty, unity and integrity of the India. 12 का A होगा comments expressing disapprobation of measure with a view to obtain their alteration by lawful means. 13 में under which of the following section of the BNS waging war against the government of India of any sovereign state at peace with flag is punishable? Section 153. 14 में है which of the following section of the BNS makes committing depredation on terrorist of foreign state at peace with government of India punishable? D में है section 154. 15 में है under which of the following section of the BNS provides punishment for following servant voluntarily allowing prisoner of state or war to escape? C में है 156. Chapter 8 offenses relating to Army, Navy or Air Force 159 से 168. Chapter 8 में है Army, Navy or Air Force. Which chapter of the BNS provides for offenses relating to Army, Navy or Air Force? Chapter 8. दूसरा में under which of the following section of the BNS awaiting mutiny or attempting to seduce a soldier, sailor or airman from his duties made punishable? B में है section 159. तीसरा में which section of the BNS provides punishment for abatement of desertion of soldier, sailor or airman? A में है 163. चौथा में which section of the BNS provides punishment for harboring deserter? Section 164. Which section? पांचवा में है which section of the BNS provides punishment for abatement of act of insubordination by soldier, sailor or airman? B है section 166. Chapter 9. Chapter 9 offenses relating to elections 169 से 177. 169 से 177 election. Which chapter of the BNS provide for offenses relating to election? Chapter 9. दूसरा में which section of the BNS defines the term candidate and electoral right? Section 169. तीसरा में which section of the BNS defines the offense of bribery? B में है section 170. चौथा में which of the following amounts to bribery? सी में है बोथ ए एंड बी। पांचवा में विच सेक्शन ऑफ द बीएनएस प्रोवाइड्स पनिशमेंट फॉर ब्राइबरी? सेक्शन 173 पनिशमेंट फॉर ब्राइबरी 173। व्हाट इज द छठा में व्हाट इज द पनिशमेंट प्रोवाइडेड फॉर ब्राइबरी? ए में इम्प्रिजनमेंट विच में एक्सटेंड टू 1 year और विथ फाइन और बोथ। 1 year और फाइन और बोथ। सातवां में व्हाट इज द पनिशमेंट फॉर ब्राइबरी बाय ट्रीटिंग? डी में है ओनली फाइन। ट्रीटिंग के लिए ओनली फाइन। वो आठवां में है विच सेक्शन ऑफ द बीएनएस डील्स विथ अनड्यू इन्फ्लुएंस एट इलेक्शन? सी में है सेक्शन 171। नौवां में है विच सेक्शन ऑफ द बीएनएस डील्स विथ पर्सोनेशन एट इलेक्शंस? सेक्शन 172। 10वां में फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट इन कनेक्शन विथ an election is mentioned under which section of the BNS? False statement. Section 175. Offences related to coins, currency notes, bank notes, and government stamps. Section 178 to 188. पहला में which chapter of the BNS provide for offences related to coins, currency notes, bank notes, and government stamps? D में है chapter 10. दूसरा में which section of the BNS provides punishment for counterfeiting coin, government stamp, currency notes, or bank notes? Section 178. तीसरा में coin is defined in which section? 78 का explanation 2. coin का definition कहाँ पे है? 78 का explanation 2. चौथा में what punishment is provided under BNS for counterfeiting coin, government stamp, currency notes और bank notes? B में है imprisonment for life और imprisonment which may extend to 10 years and fine. पांचवा में है which section of the BNS punishes possession of forged or counterfeit coin? सी में है सेक्शन 180। ऑफेंसेस अगेंस्ट चैप्टर 11 में है ऑफेंसेस अगेंस्ट पब्लिक ट्रैंक्विलिटी। ऑफेंसेस अगेंस्ट पब्लिक ट्रैंक्विलिटी 189 से 187, 189 से 197। अनलॉफुल असेंबली पहला में अनलॉफुल असेंबली हैज बीन डिफाइंड अंडर विच सेक्शन ऑफ द बीएनएस? 189। फॉर एन अनलॉफुल असेंबली द मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ पर्सन रिक्वायर्ड इज 5। 5 अनलॉफुल असेंबली के लिए 5 पर्सन होने चाहिए। तीसरा में है विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट एसेंशियल एलिमेंट ऑफ अनलॉफुल असेंबली? कॉमन इंटेंशन नहीं होना चाहिए। कॉमन ऑब्जेक्ट होगा, 5 और 5 से अधिक लोग हो गए, टू रेसिस्ट एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ एनी लॉ और एनी लीगल प्रोसेस। चौथा में फॉर एन असेंबली टू बी अनलॉफुल इट मस्ट हैव ए कॉमन ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ इट काइंड स्पेसिफाइड इन वह सेक्शन 189 ऑफ द बीएनएस। पांचवा में इंटेंशनली ज्वाइनिंग अनलॉफुल असेंबली और रिमेनिंग मेंबर ऑफ अनलॉफुल असेंबली आफ्टर बिकमिंग अवेयर ऑफ फैक्ट विच रेंडर द असेंबली टू बी अनलॉफुल इज पनिशेबल अंडर सेक्शन 189 का 2। छठा में है नोइंगली ज्वाइनिंग और कंटिन्यूइंग इन एनी असेंबली ऑफ 5 or more persons like to cause a disturbance of public peace after such assembly has been lawfully commanded to disperse and made punishable under section 189 का 5। सातवां में है ज्वाइनिंग अनलॉफुल असेंबली आर्म्ड विथ डेडली वेपन्स हैज बीन dealt with under सेक्शन 189 का 4 का 189 का 4। ज्वाइनिंग अनलॉफुल असेंबली विथ डेडली वेपन्स। आठवां में है which section provides for punishment for harboring any person knowing that such person has been hired, engaged or employed to join as a member of the unlawful assembly? B में है section 189 का 7। which section provides that every member of unlawful assembly shall be guilty of offence committed in prosecution of common object? section 190 of the BNS। राइटिंग एंड अफ्रेड पहला में है राइटिंग मीन्स यूज ऑफ फोर्स और वायलेंस बाय एन अनलॉफुल असेंबली और बाय ए मेंबर देयरऑफ इन प्रोसिक्यूशन ऑफ कॉमन ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ सच असेंबली एज पर सेक्शन 191 ऑफ द बीएनएस। दूसरा में है यूज ऑफ वायलेंस बाय ए मेंबर ऑफ एन असेंबली ऑफ 5 or more person in furtherance of a common object will constitute writing। तीसरा में इन बीएनएस पनिशमेंट फॉर राइटिंग इज प्रोवाइडेड अंडर सेक्शन 191। चौथा में है राइटिंग while armed with deadly weapon is punishable under BNS in section 191। का 3, 191 का 3। पांचवा में है पनिशमेंट फॉर राइटिंग बीइंग आर्म्ड विथ डेडली वेपन और विथ एनीथिंग विच यूज्ड एज अ वेपन ऑफ offense is likely to cause death is imprisonment which may extend to 5 years, fine or both. Imprisonment which may extend to 5 years or fine or both. छठा में punishment for writing simpliciter is imprisonment which may extend to 2 years or fine or both. सातवां में है which one of the following section of the BNS uses the word wantonly. wantonly. C में है section 192. आठवां में अंडर BNS the offense of affray has been defined in section 194. नौवां में है which offense does not require for minimum number of 5 persons. एफरे में पांच लोगों का जरूरत नहीं है। 10वां में 1, 2 or more persons fight in a public place and commit breach of peace, they commit एफरे। 11 में है to constitute the crime of affray what is necessary among the following, fighting in public place। 12 में है which one of the following offenses cannot be committed at a private place, affray cannot be committed at a private place। 13 में minimum number of persons required for affray under section 194 of the BNS is 2। Maximum sentence of imprisonment that can be awarded for the offense of affray is 1 month। affray के लिए 1 month। Promoting enmity between different groups on grounds of religion is punished under which section of the BNS? C. Section 196. Imputations, assertions prejudicial to national integration have been provided under which of the following section of the BNS? Section 197. तीसरा में है which one of the following section of the BNS deal with vicarious liability? Vicarious liability, section 193. Chapter 12 है offenses by or relating to public servant। offenses by or relating to public servant 198 से लेकर 205 तक। Which chapter of the BNS provides for offenses by or relating to public servants? C में है chapter 12। दूसरा में public servant disobeying a direction of law with intent to cause injury is dealt under C section 190 of the BNS। तीसरा में है under which section of the BNS is non treatment of victim by public or private hospital punishable? अगर किसी विक्टिम का कोई ट्रीटमेंट नहीं करते तो किस सेक्शन के अंडर पनिशेबल है? सेक्शन 200। A private doctor running his own clinic refuses to provide medical treatment to be a victim of acid attack, A is liable under which one of the following section of the BNS? Section 200। पांचवा में what is the punishment for non-treatment of victim prescribed under section 200 of the BNS? Imprisonment which may extend to 1 year or with the fine or both। छठा में personating a public servant is an offense under section 204 of the BNS। Chapter 13 Contempts of the lawful authority of public servant 206 से 226। पहला में which chapter of the BNS provides for contempt of the lawful authority of public servants? Chapter 13। दूसरा में which section provides for the punishment for absconding to avoid service of summons or other proceedings? Section 206। तीसरा में A being legally bound to appear before a district judge as witness intentionally omits to appear, A has committed the offense defined in which section of the BNS? C section 208। चौथा में penalty for non-appearance in a case where a declaration has been made under section 84 of the BNSS pronouncing a person as proclaimed offender is provided under section 209 of the BNS। पांचवा में है A being legally bound to produce a document before a district court intentionally omits to produce the same, A has committed the offense under section 210 of the BNS। A landholder knowing of a murder committed within the limits of his estate willfully misinforms the magistrate of the district that the death has occurred by accident in consequence of the bite of a snake, A is guilty of the offense under section 212। सातवां में है रिफ्यूज टू आंसर a question which is relevant to the subject concerning which the public servant is authorized to inquire is liable to be punished under section 214 of the BNS. आठवां में है punishment for furnishing false information with intent to cause public servant to use his lawful power to cause injury to another person is given under which section of the BNS? ए में है 217. नौवां में है which section of the BNS provides punishment for obstructing public servant in discharge of public functions? डी सेक्शन 221. 10वां में है which section of the BNS provides punishment for disobedience to order duly promulgated by public servant? सेक्शन 223. 11 में है which section of the BNS provides punishment for threat to injury to the public servant? बी में सेक्शन 225. चैप्टर 14 false evidence and offences against public justice. false evidence and offences against public justice 227 से 269. 227 से 269. पहला में which chapter of the BNS provides for provision related to false evidence and offences against public justice? सी में है चैप्टर 14. दूसरा में अंडर BNS giving false evidence has been defined in सेक्शन 227. तीसरा में अंडर BNS fabricating false evidence has been defined in सेक्शन 228. चौथा में है consider the following statement having been bound by the law to state the truth a person makes a false statement in a proceeding before public servant. दूसरा having been legally bound by an oath to state the truth a person makes a false statement before the court of justice. Which of the following statement is false? C both 1 or 2. पांचवा में है whoever being legally bound by an oath or by an express provision of law to state the truth or being bound by law to make a declaration upon any subject makes any statement which is false and which he either knows or believes to be false or does not believe or to be true is said to have committed an offense of giving false evidence. छठा में whoever being legally bound by oath to state the truth or being bound by law to make a declaration upon any subject matter is said to give false evidence when all the above. He makes a statement which is false. He makes a statement which he believes to be false. Satma, A puts jewels into a box belonging to B with the intention that they may be found in that box and his circumstances may cause B to be convicted of theft. A has committed the offense under which section of the BNS given below? See section 228. आठवां में punishment for giving false evidence in court is provided under section 229. नौवां में A makes false entry in his electronic record for the purpose of using it as corroborative evidence in the trial court. A has fabricated false evidence. 10वां में है how much punishment may be given to a person accused of giving false evidence in a judicial proceeding? 7 years of imprisonment and fine up to 10,000 rupees. 11 में सेक्शन 232 of the BNS is related to threat to give false evidence. 12 में as per section 232 of the BNS the offense of threatening any person to give false evidence is punishable with imprisonment up to 7 years or with fine or with both. 13 में corrupt usage of fabricated evidence as true with the knowledge that the evidence is fabricated is specifically punishable under section 233 of the BNS. 14 में है which section provides for the offense of issuing or signing false certificate? ए में है सेक्शन 234. which section provides for the offense of 15 में है which section provides for the offense of giving false statement made in declaration which is by law receivable as evidence? सी में है सेक्शन 236. 16 में है using as true any such declaration known to be false is dealt under section 237 of the BNS. 17 में which section of the BNS provides punishment for causing disappearance of evidence of offense or giving false information to screen offender? सी में है सेक्शन 238. 18 में A knowing that B has murdered Z hide the body with the intention of screening B from punishment A is liable under section डी सेक्शन 238। 19 में है ए नोइंग दैट बी हैज मर्डर्ड सी assist B to hide the body with intention of screening B from punishment. A is liable for the punishment to 7-year imprisonment and fine. 20 में है intentional omission to give information of offense by a person legally bound to inform is dealt under section 239 of the BNS. 21 में है offense of destruction of electronic record to prevent its production as evidence is punishable under BNS in section 241. Which section of the BNS provides punishment for dishonestly making false claim in court? Section 246. 23 में which section of the BNS provides punishment for fraudulently obtaining decree for sum not due? Section 247. 24 में which section of the BNS provides punishment for harboring offenders? C में है section 249. 25 में A harbors B whom he knows that he has committed a capital offense with the intention of screening him from legal punishment. A will be punished with imprisonment for maximum 5 years. 26 में which section of the BNS provides punishment for taking gifts to screen offenders from punishment? Section 250. Which section of the BNS provides punishment for failure by person released on bail or bond to appear in the court? C में है section 269. Thank you.